Okay, I am in Worlds of Wonder. This is another one of Johanna's books. It is currently on Amazon at the time of this video. I am going to be showing a couple of the challenges that will be going on in 2024 for Coloring Books Keep It Clean. So if you're not a member of that if you're not a member of that group, it is a ladies coloring book group over on Facebook. Now, the thing is, it is all ladies. So I know I have very few guys that follow here. So sorry, guys. It's like our own little sisterhood club. And it's a very clean group. So be sure you just read the rules when you go in. But we just finished a competition that, I say competition because it actually had prizes. So what I'm going to try to do is get some sponsors this next year so that we can do more things like that. So using 75% of the picture in teals, purples, and oranges. That's going to be one of the challenges. So start looking for your pages. This is teal green. My medium shade is tropical rainforest. And then my dark is teal. All right, so I went all over with the first color. So whatever your lightest shade is, I did it here and then on each of these, not on this one. Middle color, I base coated this and then came up just some of the little bottom pieces. Okay, just did little areas like this. Okay, and then I came across this bottom area and just make sure that you're fading out as you come up. And when you're getting to your corner areas like this, you're going to have a bit more of the color showing. Okay, like when you're here, you might only come up to here to fade in. All right, but when you get over here closer to the edges, you're going to come up more. The same thing here, we're going to come down a little further because we want it darker on the edges so that it looks like it's more curved at the edges. Okay, and then I'm going to go around these just ever so slightly. And that first layer of color you put on does not have to be perfect because we are going to come back through at the end and do the second color. We're going to reblend with that first color all over again. My brain's going like in 50 million different places at once right now. Hang with me till the very end, and if it's in this book, which I think it is, I'm going to show you another one of the challenges that we're going to do in 2024. Okay. For you that joined in for the last challenge, we did have a giveaway. So we actually did a drawing out of all the entries on Coloring Books Keep It Clean. And Linda Perry won that. So she picked a kit, and this company right here, Grisey, is actually shipping a kit to her for free. So that was fun. And that's what I want to do more of, is see if I can find some sponsors that will be doing stuff like that for us. Okay, so that is my second color. Then my third color, the teal, that's where I come in here and get these corners. Okay, really get those corners. And then like behind that little V right there, That makes this one look like it's in front because behind is a little darker. All right, and you can do that with each one of these, just to make those little humps look like they really are humped up in front of that area. And then I want to do some here. I will take my eraser to these areas where I'm going over the top. I am, for the first time in 3 weeks, standing up to do a video. So we just got back from walking. We walked around the inside back to my first color of the at-home store twice, and then up and down a lot of the aisles. So it ended up being a little over a mile. So I'm getting there, and whereas I can walk and not have a whole lot of problems, if I toss and turn too much in bed, my sides do hurt a little bit in the morning. We threw in a load of towels and underwear to get washed and dried, and wet towels are just too heavy. I had to call hubby in to transfer everything over to the dryer, which he is awesome about doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I hated to bug him, but I mean, you know, we've been married over 40 years, so we know. We know what it takes. Okay, so then on these, or this one rather, I did take the teal and come in and do some of this area. I'm going even darker right now. And you could come in with a dark gray and go over the top of that again to make it even darker, okay? But anyway, that's how I did those colors. Let's move on to the next color. Let's move to orange. So I have cantaloupe, and again, these are all Crayola pencils. Then I have light orange, and then I have yellow orange. So I did the whole thing in the cantaloupe. And then can you see right there where that spot's a little bit dark and dingy looking? That's where I tried to use another teal, didn't like it, so I erased it. So it doesn't always erase good. And then I came in, actually, you know what? I did not base coat in this. I base coated in this because I wanted it darker, in the light orange. And then I used the yellow orange to go up under these little bits. And it makes the teal part look like it's actually dripping down over the top. Yeah, that's why I don't like to do too much coloring ahead of time, because I forget what I've done. But I just did this morning, so. All right, so that's that part. Now, let's keep these pencils, and let's go over here to this one, and I'm gonna have to sit down. So let's push that down there. Pull up my rolling ball chair. Oh, alrighty. All right, so I did the whole thing with the first shade. Mine is cantaloupe. All right. Then second shade, and I've already done both of these, but I may come back later and beef them up, meaning just deepen the colors. So I went around, you know, any of this that looks like it's sunken down in, or that would cast a little bit of shadow on another part, and then just blend it out. Little circles are good for blending out. I go through here. Again, you don't have to be too concerned with that first layer of the lightest color. I do like to put it in so that I have a chance to blend it out, but you don't have to be super concerned about it because we will be going over that again. I did not with the teal over there, you're right. I think it's because it just blended so well for me, I didn't feel the need to. Then through here, because this one is behind this one. And then I did do just around some of these. Again, just make sure you're blending out as best you can. Can you do the whole thing orange and just say, forget the blending? Oh yeah, definitely. If that's what floats your boat, you do that. There's no rules that say you have to use 3 different colors. Do I think that once you're used to using 3 different colors, you would like it? Yeah, I kind of think you would, because it just gives more depth. And see, I'm going here because it's behind this one. Going here because it's behind this one. And then notice that line, it's going to flip. So now we're doing here and here and here. All right. Now here, we're going to do all of this because it's underneath the purple one. So it really is shaded some. And again, the goal is 75% of the page using these 3 color blends. And you can use black or gray also in there to help make them darker if you need to. Now, going with my 3rd color, for me it's yellow orange. See how when I go up in there, it just makes that push to the back. And then I'm going to get these little bits because they're down there. All right, up this side. Then just blend it out in these little areas. And see, I like how this is a darker orange, and that's why I said I may have to go back in and adjust my colors some later if I feel like they're not dark enough. And yes, I just went into that leaf a little bit. And then here, and then again in the corners. All right, and then sometimes just a little bit underneath these helps out a little bit. All right, and like I said, I've already done this one. So that takes care of that. Let's look at the purples. So up we come. Let's go over. Let's examine this purple one. This purple one, I had a lot of fun with this. It was the one that I started with, and it was really easy. So if you're just watching this time, you may want to start with your purple. This is lilac. My middle shade is royal purple, and then my deepest is plum. I really like using plum a lot, but I went through here and just did a lot of this lilac. Just got that lilac on there, okay? Oh, and yeah, I never did blend with the orange. But if you finish with a color, like this up here is all finished, if you find that it could use just a little bit more blending, that's when you come back in with your lightest shade and you just go ahead and blend again. Just go over it and blend again. If you're used to using a colorless blender, you can do that. I just don't. For the most part, I don't. I own like 2 or 3, and they're still like almost brand new. I just like adding another layer of the color. instead of smearing around what's already on there. So then I went through with my second color, which for me is the royal purple. And I went around all of these. This is a time when it was good. Then I went ahead and did some of that ahead of time because it did take a while, which is fine. You know, I didn't even look to see what time it is. So hopefully we're still doing good. I am not going to stand up and look. If we run over and it puts this into 2 videos, I will pop the next one in right after this one so that you can keep going. But I really feel like we're probably doing really well time-wise. That's not blending as well as I would like it to. I'll come back with the other color in a little bit, see if we can get it to blend better. Around all these little dots. Just by adding the 2 or 3 different colors, you're really adding some dimension to your picture instead of it being just flat looking. So don't forget, if you're hanging out till the very end here, I'm going to show you another one of the challenges. I'm almost finished with it. I'm trying to get some stuff up ahead of time, and I'm trying to let you know what those challenges are so that you too can be working on them. Now, because this is hanging over this, I am going to go ahead and come down through here and then just fade it out into there. You will find with different colors, even within your same set of pencils, that some colors blend better than others. Some colors are easily higher in pigment, or the color just transfers over better, and it's a whole lot easier to get the colors blended. It's just the nature of the beast. And I cannot even remember right now what colors do and don't. A lot of time it's across the board, you know, that it's some of the same colors. This purple right here seems to be one of them. It's just not blending well for me. And it could also be that I am reaching across my art table to do this. So, and this table is 3 feet, so across, yeah, and then it's 8 feet long. These tables are tables I built years ago out of plywood, and I covered them in fabric and then covered them in plastic sheeting from the craft store. Okay, going to plum. And so they've been to where I can use them for different crafts, and they've been awesome. So yeah, the bad thing is the reach, but the back or the back foot of the table has got scrapbooking stickers and paper and all that on it. So this is usually where I do my scrapbooking. It's just got a shelf up on top, which is where my camera sits. It just makes it really handy. So anywhere that's really behind, this is where you can come in with your darker shade and really beef that up a little bit and then blend out. So yeah, I'm feeling better. Next week, I think I go pick up my sleep apnea test materials, do a home study for sleep apnea, although I'm already feeling not as sleepy as I used to. Now I went back to my first color. And And I think it's because, I mean, who knew? 6 hernias. You know, just getting that fixed has helped me a lot. It's helped me tremendously. So, still waking up early in the morning for the most part, which I used to be a night person, so go figure. Anyway, but we've been staying up late too to watch the Rangers. Yes, they beat last night, so as hubby put it earlier, we won't be staying up as late tonight unless we just want to. I don't normally watch sports unless it's a playoffs or something that has the Cowboys or the Rangers. And I actually sat there and watched the entire game last night. That ball that one guy missed, I was like, yes. And then I was like, oh, poor guy. You know, it's kind of hard because I feel for both sides, but it was good that the Rangers won because they have never won the World Series. So that was good. All right, let me see how that's looking to y'all. Not too bad. So anyway, for me, that looks really good. So that's what we have so far on the page. That's going to be the 3 main colors. Now, I can go ahead and color, you know, lots of other things in here too. I'll do yellow for the windows. I'm probably going to do, I don't know if I want to do yellow there or if I want to do a wall color. I'm thinking a wall color, and I may do this purple again. Yeah, I don't know yet. The reason I went ahead and made these two to match this one is because they have the same motif going on. The reason I made these match this one, even though it's not the same motif, is because they're all hooked together down below. Okay? So, and there's another whole page. Now, whether or not I make that page also fit this criteria, I don't know. Right now I'm thinking not. I'm thinking it can stand on its own as long as I do the backgrounds the same so that they coordinate. All right, where's that picture for the other contest? I know I already have one going. There it is. So it is split a page in half. Okay, there's half. See, that's a page. And then the other half is right there. Now, I'm not completely finished with that yet. I still need to come in and do all my stars with a gel pen. And then let me show you something. If you've hung out with me this long, you get to see what I did here. I'm actually going to rub over this. Okay, that's where I'd rubbed on it before. And then rub on the clouds. Okay, so when you do your pencil, you can rub over your pencil and then rub. And then for this side, I rubbed just enough that it was a background color. And then, oh, I think I'm going to do something different. We have enough time. I think what I'm going to do, let's see. Nope, not that one. I have right up over behind where y'all are at, I have a whole bunch of washi tape, like 72 inches of rolls of washi tape. And I thought it might be cool to just border this page in washi tape. And what grabbed my attention first was this, but that's not really the right color. And then I think, well, this would be kind of cool because it would repeat the stars. But then I have this need to go over every star with the same yellow. So is that like insane? And then part of me says, well, but would you do one side one thing and then the other side something else? So let's just play with this for a minute. Because nothing says you can't use other materials in your books. So I'm going to do a mitered cut. So I'm going to go right there. And then over here, I know it stops here. And then I have to do that balloon shape. So I'm just cutting this as best I can without actually drawing it off. How's that? It'll work. Okay, then let's go down through here. So I think the way that I'm going to be able to use this around the outside and not color it is I'm only going to do this half. The other half would be a different color, right? Because isn't that what we're doing? Is different. That did not line up. Okay. Now, when you do something like that and it doesn't line up, let me show you what you can do. I can actually come back through here, cut. Okay. Then it was going this way. Line the stars. It was going this way. Can you see what I'm doing around my hand? I'm lining up these stars. And I'm just going to lay it down again. Okay. Now I'm going to cut up here. Then, hang with me. Because if you've never done this before, this is very interesting and very easy to do. This is a little blade, okay? And to get a good mitered cut, you're going to get something flat or straight. Don't cut through your page. Just cut through the tapes. So go at it slowly. Okay? And then this comes up. And this little piece here off the edge should come up. And now I've got a pretty good mitered tip. Okay? All right, and then we're going to go across this part. So yeah, this was not even planned for today, but hey, this is going to be good. The other thing you can do is once you get that down, pull up the bottom one. Okay, I'm pulling up the bottom piece. These two are stuck together, and I'm going to cut from corner to corner. I'm going to take off the top part, take off this piece here, that should be the bottom, and then when I lay them back down, they match up. And then over here, I'm going to do a straight, well, it's not a straight cut, but it's okay because I have to do the other side yet coming over. Plus, you know, if you want to get picky about it, you can lay the piece over the top just like we did before. But I like that just because it brings the dark to this side too. And then what would I do on the other side? I could do something in blue again, but I'd want to keep it lighter. Does that make sense? I could go with this really skinny one. And washi tape does get old. Okay? So if you have washi tape and at some time it just won't peel or it tears every time, it could be that it's old. So we're going to see if this is old or if it's going to work. Okay, that does go to there. Then I left that other corner up. Well, let's see. You get the idea, right? And this may be one of those that's old. Washi tape, where can you get it? You can get it at almost any craft store. Okay. It's called washi, W-A-S-H-I tape. Okay. And I am going to screen that call. So anyway, and you just do this like you did the other one, but we're out of time. So enjoy. I read comments, so give me your feedback, and we will talk later. Bye-bye.